Hi loves, it's your girl Pauline, and thank you for joining me on another DIY project. In today's video, we're making this no-sew tufted headboard. Things we'll need are here. In addition, we'll need spray glue and a glue gun and a drill, not pictured. Wood cut to size, 2 mattress foams, staple gun and staples, fabric of your choice, fabric to cover the foam, also known as batting, screws, washers, optional nails instead, a tape measure, and chalk. Now, I did not use the spray adhesive or the glue because you really need a well-ventilated place in order to do that, and I didn't have one, but it turned out well for me. Nothing slipped or slid. The reason for doing that is to spray it on the board, put your foam on top of that, and it stops it from shifting around and things like that. I just went straight ahead to stapling I doubled up my foam that I got at Walmart, and put the smooth side up and put the two swirly sides inside of each other. And I'm just going around the perimeter. Now the tops I want smooth and the sides I want smooth. The bottom is not going to be seen, it's going to be tucked away, and I just cornered them off here to keep it nice and smooth. Digging in deep with my Stanley electric staple gun, which I love. Okay, next I'm taking some scissors. You can use box cutters, whatever cutting device you have, and I'm just cutting off the excess foam, being careful though not to go too close to the staples because I don't want it to come undone even though they're in there nice and tight. So leaving about an inch or two away from the sides, and I'm just going to do that to the 3 sides. The bottom half, which is over there by my foot, I haven't stapled yet because it's not going to be seen. It's going to be behind the mattress. What I'm doing here is I'm starting in the center and I'm going over to one side a little bit. Then I'm going to go back to the other side and finish it off. I do leave a few gaps in between, and then I go back again and staple them closer together. But this is so that you don't get a sway in it, at least from my experience. And you can see the swirls even though that's the smooth side coming through. And I'll explain what I did to combat that in the next segment here. Okay, a nice fluffy spot there to work on. Yay. So batting is really thin, and a lot of people who do the sew method, you can just poke your fingers through it. It's really thin, but I used it in a previous video, which I'll show you later, and I could still see the swirls coming through the fabric even after that, and it was thick fabric. It was a faux suede. So I found one of these really cheap, inexpensive dollar store blankets, that throw blankets that I had that I've gotten more than my use out of, and it actually surprisingly worked to my advantage. You can see a mistake that I made in my other video here previously was I went ahead and I put the fabric down really tight over that batting, real tight, and what that caused, my daughter in the background, what that did was it made it hard for me to do any tufting. So because I pulled and stretched that fabric, and then here I am finding out the mistake that I'd made. Screwing in my screw and then going, oh my gosh, it's not making a tuft. I did something unique with this anyway, and this is the result of that. I got creative, as you could say. And I also made the base of that bed too. It's a platform. So it came out well. Back to our project. So once I got that faux batting down the blanket. I nailed them. I hammered in my staples just to make sure that they were in there nice and tight after I cut the perimeters off. Again, being careful not to go too close to the edges with my handy dandy hammer. I also used this light so that I could make measurements where I wanted my tufting to go. My frame was 62 by 32. So I measured that and just made it in the eighths, and then I made my circles where I wanted the holes, the drilling to go at 4 inches apart. And there you can see I started from the center and moved my way out. And that's the chalk that I used to line after I measured 4 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches. I went ahead and used these gold screws and the washers of silver, and to my surprise, I didn't need to use those diamonds that I was going to have to glue in there. Hence, we do not need the glue gun. Not with what I used. I loved it. Here's more of the results. See, the sides aren't stapled down yet. Now that all the tufting is done, I'm going to go ahead and pull and stretch my fabric over that board in the back to get a nice tight fit. Now, if you do it before, you see what happened. You save that for last. And I'm going in really tight there. Now, alternatively, you can make slits in the foam so that you can get those creases that you often see in tufting. I didn't do that, and I'm really happy with the results, considering this just took me like, I don't know, a couple of hours at my own leisure. And I love sleeping on that bed right now. It's so beautiful. Something like this that I made with some plywood from Home Depot. And there's your end result. Thank you so much for joining me on this video, a DIY.